You know that feeling, right, when your inner world just feels like a total storm? Chaos is winning. But what if I told you there's an ancient built-in guide inside your own psyche, one that's designed to be the anchor in that storm? Well, today, we're diving deep into one of Carl Jung's most powerful archetypes, the wise old man.
So yeah, that's the big question, right? What on earth guides us through chaos? When the world outside stops making sense, or even worse, when we stop making sense to ourselves, what do we hold on to? For Carl Jung, this wasn't some abstract thought experiment. It was a matter of psychological survival. And to really get a grip on the guide, we first have to face the chaos he's there to help us navigate.
Okay, so before we find our guide, we gotta meet the troublemakers. See, in Jung's view of the mind, there are these powerful, primal forces whose entire job is to shake things up, to smash whatever's gotten too stiff, too predictable. Let's meet the two main agents of chaos.
So on one hand, you've got the trickster. Think of him as the cosmic prankster. His playground is the external world. He's the one who delights in breaking your persona, that polished social mask we all wear. And then, on the other hand, you have the Dionysian force. Now this one is an internal storm. It's this raw, wild, ecstatic energy that just shatters our Apollonian ego, that neat, tidy, rational sense of self we work so hard to maintain.
And when these two forces get unleashed at the same time, whoa, the effect is massive. Jung had this incredible metaphor for it. He called it a great flood. It's like the unconscious just rises up and threatens to completely wash away our conscious identity. I mean, this is a moment of real psychological danger. Without an anchor, you could literally just be swept away.
All right, so if the trickster and the Dionysian are the hurricane, what's the anchor? Well, this is where our guy finally shows up. He's the stabilizing force, that archetypal figure who brings meaning, right when everything feels like pure madness.
So let's be super clear about what we mean here. The wise old man isn't just some character in a fairy tale like Merlin or Dumbledore. He's a deep, fundamental pattern baked into the human psyche. You could say he embodies the collective wisdom of our ancestors. He's that part of us that desperately seeks meaning and spirit, especially when life turns completely upside down.
And listen to this. This is a key insight straight from Jung himself. This figure doesn't just pop up when things are going great. No way. He appears in our dreams, in our thoughts, maybe even through a real person, at the exact moment we feel most lost. It's when the chaos boiling up from the unconscious feels totally, utterly irrational and overwhelming. That's when he steps in.
So what's his actual job description? Well, he's got 4 huge roles to play. First, he's that psychological anchor, the thing that holds you steady when the waves are crashing. Second, he's the archetypal light bringer. You know, the one who shows up with a lantern when you're in total darkness? Third, and this is a big one, he prevents psychic disintegration. He literally stops your sense of self from shattering into a million pieces. And finally, he provides what's called teleological direction. It's a fancy term, but it just means he gives you a sense of purpose, a reason why you're going through all this.
Okay, so we know who he is, but the real question is, how does he actually do it? I mean, he's not some superhero who just swoops in and punches chaos in the face. His method is way more subtle, way more profound. Think of him less like a warrior and more like an architect.
And his process is fascinating. It really happens in 3 stages. First, when chaos erupts, his job is to interpret the nonsense. He doesn't just write off the trickster's games as meaningless pranks. He's looking for the hidden message. Then, his next move is to find the pattern. He has this deep trust that even in the craziest, most disordered mess, there's a hidden logic, a pattern to be found. And finally, and this is maybe the most important part, he makes suffering meaningful. He takes what feels like random, senseless pain and reframes it into a meaningful trial. It becomes a test, a journey, not just a pointless tragedy.
This is such a powerful way to think about it. When that Dionysian energy shatters your personality into 1,000 little pieces, the wise old man acts like a gravitational pull. He's this centripetal force that starts pulling all those scattered fragments back toward a common center. He's literally the force that helps put you back together again.
And really, his ultimate genius is all about synthesis. He understands that extremes are dangerous. You've got too much order over here, the Apollonian side, and that just leads to a boring, rigid, stagnant life. But then you've got too much chaos over there, the Dionysian side, and that leads to total destruction. The wise old man is brilliant because he doesn't pick a side. His whole job is to help us hold the tension between these two opposites, to integrate them both into a whole, complete personality. Now, this whole balancing act isn't just a one-and-done thing. It's a process that unfolds over our entire lifetime. And the influence of this archetype, it really evolves as we get older. We can see this super clearly when we look at his relationship with his polar opposite, the eternal youth.
Okay, so check this out. On one side, you have the puer aeternus. That's Latin for eternal youth. This is the part of us that just wants to chase highs, rebel against the system, and avoid responsibility like the plague. Sound familiar? And then on the other side, you've got the wise old man, acting as the corrective force. He's the one who brings in the sobering reality of mortality. He teaches responsibility. And he helps steer all that rebellious energy away from just reacting to things and towards consciously creating things.
And this is really the core lesson he teaches. I mean, think about it. Anyone can break the rules. Anyone can tear something down. That's the easy part. But real maturity, the kind of deep wisdom he represents, is about having the strength and the vision to build something new, something better in its place.
So in the final act of life, this archetype shows up in its ultimate form, the senex. This is it. This is wisdom fully baked. It's the part of our psyche that has the incredible strength and clarity to face the end of life, not with terror, but with integrity. It's about seeing that final moment as the ultimate moment of truth.
So let's pull all these threads together. When you look at the big picture, what is his ultimate goal? What is this grand project he's overseeing inside each of us?
It all comes down to this. The wise old man is the guardian of what Jung called the individuation process. And if you're not familiar with that term, just think of it as the lifelong journey of becoming a whole, integrated, unique individual. It's the process of becoming fully and authentically yourself. And the wise old man, he's the master guide for that entire journey.
And he doesn't send you out empty-handed. He provides the essential tools for what can be a pretty dangerous journey. He gives you a moral and spiritual compass. He hands you a map to navigate the abyss of your own mind. He's the one who ensures that a descent into the dark actually results in a return to the light. And maybe most profoundly, he helps us shift from being a passive victim of the gods, just getting tossed around by fate, to becoming an active partner in the divine drama of our own lives.
And I don't think there's a metaphor that sums it all up better than this one. The trickster starts the fire. His chaotic energy provides the spark, the heat, the catalyst for change. But it's the wise old man who builds the hearth. He's the one who gives that wildfire a safe, constructive place to burn, turning its raw, dangerous energy into warmth and light for everyone.
Which of course leaves us with one final, very personal question. Look, the wise old man isn't just some abstract theory from a 100-year-old book. He can show up as a real mentor in your life. He can be a character in a movie that just speaks to you. Or he can be that quiet, steady voice of wisdom that you find deep inside yourself. So the question to really take away from all this is, who or what is the anchor in your storm? Who is the wise old man in your life?